Hello Motivators, my name is Brandon Bullard. I am the Director of Fitness and Nutrition with Team Motivate, sponsored to you by Soldier Water and Walk for Troops. Now the kitchen is one of my favorite places to be in, besides the gym and being outdoors. Now like I've said before, 75% of your outcome definitely comes from the kitchen. It's what you put in your mouth that creates your body. Okay, you could be at the gym for hours every day and still not get your results because, like I said, 75% of your outcome definitely comes from food and nutrition. The first thing that I'd like to show you today is who doesn't like to start their day with a cup of joe? Okay, I like coffee or tea. Some days I'll switch back and forth. Some days coffee, some days some tea. But let me show you what I put in my cup of joe. Alright Motivators, here we go. Starting that day with a cup of joe. I'm going to tell you and show you what I do in my cup of coffee to get a little extra amino acids, a little extra protein, and I'm going to use my protein powder as the creamer. Okay, you can use vanilla and chocolate together, or you can just use chocolate for like a mocha, but it is much healthier to use your protein powder than some of those crazy creamers because you have all that hydrogenated oil, cancer-causing type of stuff that you actually put into your cup of coffee, and you're not starting your day off right. Now, coffee is a good stimulant, keeps the mind right, and kind of keeps you focused. But do not forget that you also need a meal with your coffee, okay? And don't go overboard with the coffee. Have 1 or 2 cups max a day, and that's about it. Maybe in the morning have a nice hot cup of coffee, and maybe in the afternoon, what I teach you today, you can have a nice iced protein coffee. Alright Motivators, let me show you what I put in my coffee. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 little scoops of my stevia extract, or you can use whatever stevia that you like. If you're not really worried too much about your calories, go ahead and use that agave nectar. It is loaded with a little bit more sugar, kind of like honey, but if you're watching your calories, which I'm doing right now, I'm going to use the stevia extract. It's sweet and 0 calories. And like I said, you can take protein powder that you'd like. It can either be vanilla, chocolate. Actually what I did is I took both of my vanilla and chocolate protein powders, mixed them together, and I just shake it up. So I got a little vanilla, little twist. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is you don't need a lot of protein powder. Just a little bit. I mean, we're not talking big 30 grams of protein. If you make a huge cup of coffee, then I guess you maybe could. But I'm going to tell you, while my coffee is being made, I'm going to start making some breakfast. So I just take roughly about a teaspoon of my protein powder, mix that in with my stevia extract, and while my coffee's brewing, now I'm going to go make my breakfast. Alright Motivators, here I am, making some breakfast. What I'm going to do for my first breakfast is I'm going to do oatmeal, and what I'm going to put in my oatmeal is almond butter, a tablespoon of almond butter. My oatmeal, I'm only going to go a half a cup of rolled oats, organic, okay? And I'm going to add my protein powder. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a cup and a half of water. Usually what they ask for is roughly a half cup to a cup of water. Well, I do a cup and a half of water. That way I can add in my protein powder and it mixes real nice. But you are you're your own person, so you just can follow some of my rules, and if you want it thicker, then of course take out the water. If you want it more runny, hey, put some more water in. But right now, like I said, a cup and a half of water. Heat that water up, and while that water is heating, I'm going to make my little concoction, what I'm going to put in my bowl. So I'm going to bring the water to a boil. As soon as the water comes to a boil, I'm going to throw in a heaping half cup of rolled oats in the water, bring it down to a simmer, and then I'm going to time it for only 5 minutes. But while this water is heating up, I'm going to prepare my bowl with what I'm going to put in it. I'm going to put in the almond butter, the stevia extract, a little bit of pumpkin spice, and you'll see in a second. Here we go. Alright Motivators, like I said, while the water's being boiled, I'm going to put in my concoction on what I'm going to add to my oatmeal, okay? I'm going to put a heaping scoop of my protein powder. You can do 1 or 2 depending on what your goals are in life. But for right now, everything that I make is usually for about my calorie intake. Then I'm going to take a tablespoon of almond butter. And what I say, I'm pretty good at guesstimating what a tablespoon is or what 2 tablespoons are. But if you're not, I definitely recommend actually measuring it out, because you don't want too few calories and you don't want too many. This way you can actually figure out exactly how many calories your body is consuming. Water's starting to come to a boil. That oatmeal is going to go in there pretty soon. Let me get that almond butter. I love almond butter. Good natural fat. A little bit of pumpkin spice to literally spice some things up. Gotta love my stevia extract. I like some things a little sweet. So I'm adding, usually I add 3 little packets of stevia extract. And cinnamon, get that blood flowing. I like to add some cinnamon. Alright, a few little pops of that. My water's boiling. Like I said, I take a heaping half cup of oatmeal, and I'm going to bring that down to a simmer. I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes, and I'm going to stir this periodically. Once that 5 minutes is done, I'm going to literally just pour all my oatmeal into my little concoction there. Mix it up and enjoy. Alright, well, while the oatmeal's doing its thing, my coffee's done. And I tell you what, I actually have a coffee maker. I just didn't set the timer, but how nice is it if you have one of those timer coffee makers that when you wake up in the morning, the coffee's already done. So here we go. I got my stevia extract. I got a little bit of protein powder, the vanilla chocolate, little mocha, little twist. Throw in my coffee. I'm sure everybody's got their favorite coffee mug. This is my favorite coffee mug right here. This is a Mule Deer. I like to do my hunting. I like to teach you some of my recipes on my venison and elk. So, just mix it all together. Let's see if I need to add any more protein powder. Nope, that's pretty good. So we're going to go back to the oatmeal. Here we go. Alright, motivators. While your oatmeal is boiling, okay, like I said, bring it to a simmer. I got a 10 scale here. It's about a 3-4. Don't forget to periodically stir it, okay? Periodically stir the oatmeal. You want it to boil nice and slow. Just like so. And enjoy your coffee, your tea, or your pre-workout shake. Alright. Alright, motivators, oatmeal's almost done. There it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my oatmeal and literally just pour it right into this concoction that I already have pre-made. And some things what I'll do some mornings is, like when I said I have my tea, and if I didn't put enough water in, I'll actually use some of the hot water from my tea to make it a little runnier. Okay? Then I just sit here and I mix it all up. Now for those of you that want to add in a few more calories, you know, you got to be in a calorie surplus if you want to add some muscle, go ahead, add a little bit bigger, or 1 or 2, you know, instead of 1 scoop of protein, you might do 1.5 or 2. Don't go too crazy when you start adding calories, okay? If you want to start adding some muscle, maybe add 100, 150 calories per meal per snack throughout the day. If you start going another 300-400 calories, I don't want you to start gaining fat weight. Like I put in here, I only put in 1 tablespoon of almond butter. Now another thing that you could do to increase the calories, go ahead and put 2 tablespoons of almond butter. Or what I also like to use is coconut oil. Coconut oil is a very good fat, gets used as energy very fast. Good quality fat, just like the almond butter. Motivators, breakfast is served.